We are entering into the last session of the first chapter, and the topic is about coordination. In this session, we will be discussing about coordination. We have already seen what is management, what are the functions of management, and we have seen where multivarious activities are taking place inside an organization. But when all these different functions or different activities, if they are being individually done, nothing is going to happen inside the organization, nothing is going to happen in the way as it is expected. All these actions, all these activities must go hand in hand. Then only we can reach to the desired objective. Now, in this session, we are learning about that factor or that concept which is bringing together the activities or binding all the functions of an organization, and that is what is coordination. So, we are starting with the session coordination. What is coordination? Coordination is considered as the force that binds all the functions of management. So, that is a common force which is bringing together different functions of management. Planning is there, organizing is there, staffing is there, directing is there, controlling is there. So, all these activities are connected with one another. It is binding them together towards a common goal. Now, if we are going in detail, we can see that it is a process by which manager synchronizes the activities of different departments. As I have said, different departments are performing different functions. If they are standing individually as they are, planning is done and planning is standing by its own, it is not connected with any other things. Staffing is happening and people are being recruited, they are only concerned with that. Nothing is going to happen in organization. All these activities, all these functions of different departments is going forward in connection with another function by another department. So, there have to be a connection created. So, there is a synchronization, there is a sync required, there is a common, they must move towards common objectives, common organization objectives. So, here this coordination is the process that is synchronizing, that is bringing together the activities of different departments. And coordination is considered as the essence of management. Coordination is considered as the essence of management. Why it is called essence of management, or it is core regarding regarding management? Why it is called so? Because it is coordination which is helping in achieving harmony among individual efforts towards accomplishment of group goals. Of course, there is a goal for the organization to achieve, and each department or each function has something in particular to do with that. And if it is not if this individual efforts of department, individual efforts of employees, if it is going with its own individuality, not getting connected with another department, not getting connected with another function, automatically it will not help in attainment of group goals. So, here coordination is helping the departments, helping the organization, helping different functions to move towards a common goal. So, that is considered as a cord which is running or which is connecting different functions, different departments within an organization. That is why, because of the synchronization of different activities, different functions, coordination is considered as the essence of management, because without coordination, management will not be possible in an organization. And that is why it is said it ensures unity of action. A common action is being given a common focus towards achievement of objectives. Actions are going in unity with another department or another function. So, it is considered as the essence of management. Now, why coordination is important, or when is coordination required? Coordination is required in three different situations. Coordination is required when there is a growth in size. When there is a growth in size, coordination is required, because more number of employees, more number of departments. When that number increases, it will be difficult to coordinate, it is difficult to connect with one another. So, that coordination as a function, it is required, because there can be different persons with different thoughts, different expectations. So, there it has to be given a common direction regarding department, regarding person. There must be a common direction given. And what to say? We have to say that they must, even though they are individuals, they have individuality, they must move towards a common goal, common objective. So, when growth in numbers as well as in functions as well as in operations, when growth is happening, coordination is required to give them a common direction. Another area where coordination becomes a requirement is functional differentiation. As we have seen, multivarious functions are there in the organization: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. You know, each one is different from another. So, even though all these are functions of management, each one has difference. But even though when there is difference, each function go in connection with another function. Planning will become meaningful when it is organized, when there is enough staffs are there, when proper direction is given, when controlling is made. So, you can see that this functions, even though when there is difference is there, it has to get connected with one another. So, when functional differentiation is there, it requires to be connected, one function to be connected with one another function, so as to achieve group goal. So, there also coordination becomes a requirement. Third one is when specialization is there. When specialization is there, nowadays you can see that lot of firms focus more on specialization, and it can be on diversity of tasks performed, it can be on technology, and you can see that as specialization is happening, there are number of specialists, and they think that they are the only persons who can have, or they are the persons who are only having the idea regarding what they are doing, or they things must go according to what they say. Of course, that's fine, but the problem is that if they are sticking on only to what they are saying, and if they are not considering another department which has to go hand in hand with this department, automatically there can be a lot of chaos. Lot of problems can be there. There can be interruption of work. So, in order to make sure that, or in order to reconcile the differences in approach, interest and opinions of specialists, coordination is a requirement. They have to be connected with another department. They have to get in connected with the department. They have to consider group goals. And they have to understand that, of course, they are specialized in their areas, but that will be meaningful only when it is connected with another department, so as to complete a work of the organization. They have to move towards the organizational goal. So, there also, when specialization is there, when specialists are there, coordination becomes a requirement. Now, going on to the features of coordination. Features of coordination. Now, what are the features of coordination or characteristics of coordination? Now, some of the characteristics of coordination are: coordination integrates group efforts. Coordination integrates group efforts. As we all know, individuals are there in the organization. They move in their own way. They have their own expectation, their own way of doing things. But what to say? When coordination is there, there is a common focus given for each person's job, each person's area of interest, area of work. Even though they are focusing in their own area, they are given a common focus. There is an integration with the two individuals working in a department. One person's work, from where to where that person has to work, and who will be proceeding with that, or how his work is connected with the next person's work. So there is an integration happening, and from individual outlook they are given a general outlook or organization outlook so as to achieve organizational goal. So that is one of the feature. Second one is it ensures unity of action. It ensures unity of action. As we have seen, it is a binding force. It is a binding force which is connecting employees, department functions towards a common objective, towards organizational objective. All the efforts of individuals, all the functions of individuality is given a common direction, is given a unity of action. Each action, each function performed, why it is performed, and in connection with whom it is performed, towards what objective they have to perform. It has been made clear in coordination. Again, another feature, coordination is a continuous process. Coordination is a continuous process. It is not just required at planning alone. Planning coordination is required, organization coordination is required, staffing coordination is required, directing coordination is required, controlling coordination is required. So you cannot say that coordination is just required when some activity is starting, when some function is starting. It has to be there. It is present there from starting to the end of organization and organization's activities. It is continuously happening inside the organizations. That is why it is called continuous process. Right from planning to controlling, coordination is required, coordination must happen. Another one is coordination is a pervasive function. Coordination is a pervasive function. Coordination has to be done by every departments, every levels inside an organization. Every department has to coordinate with another department. It has to get connected with another department. Production department, purchase department, production department, sales department. If they are individually standing, nothing is going to happen. And if one person is adjusting in something, say production department is purchasing goods, and with that purchasing raw material, with that raw material, purchase department is getting the goods, and the production department is using those goods and producing it, and the sales department is selling it. Think of purchase department purchasing inferior goods. Automatically it will be reflected in production, and with this inferior goods, if products are made, of course they can also be inferior, which will in turn reflect in sales. The possible solution is that purchase department has to go for better raw materials, and with that they have to produce better goods, and sales department can easily sell it. So you can see that departments, functions, all these things, or each department, each level has to go hand in hand, So it is applicable to it is applicable, it must happen throughout the organization. Within the organization it has to happen, within department, within persons, within different levels, everywhere it has to happen. Otherwise it can result in chaos and overlapping of activities, who to do whom, which department has to do what. All those things are to be made clear. Coordination makes it happen. So it is a pervasive function. It must happen all through the organization. Coordination is the responsibility of all managers. It is not just to top level, it is just not just middle level, it is not just lower level. All the levels in the organization has to coordinate. The top level has to coordinate with top level has to coordinate with subordinates regarding policies, Middle level management has to coordinate with top level management as well as lower level management. Again, lower level management has to coordinate with the workers and making sure that work is happening according to the plans. So, it is coordination is something which has to be done by all levels of managers. It is not just applicable for top level alone. All level coordination must happen. And the last one is coordination is a deliberative function. Coordination is something which has to be performed intentionally, consciously, as there are individual differences, as the individuals have different habits, different thinking patterns, as the functions are different, it has to be consciously done in order to get one department connected with another, one work connected with another, one individual connected with another individual. It must happen in an organization. For that, intentionally activities has to be performed. So, these are the features of coordination. So, we have seen what is the meaning of coordination, what are the benefits of coordination, or what is the importance of coordination, and here we saw what are the features or characteristics of coordination. So, with this we come to the end of the first chapter.